Ronald Prescott. Ron Reagan is an American former talk radio host and political analyst for KIRO Radio and later Air America Radio, where he hosted his own daily 3-hour show. He is a commentator and contributor to programming on the MSNBC cable news and commentary network. He is noted for his liberal views, in contrast to his father, former Republican President Ronald Reagan. Early life. Reagan was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, the son of Ronald Reagan and his second wife, Nancy Davis Reagan. He moved to Sacramento while his father was governor of California from 1967 to 1975. His sister Patty Davis is 5.5 years older. His half-brother Michael Reagan, adopted as an infant by Ronald Reagan, and his first wife Jane Wyman, is 13 years older than he is. He also had two half-sisters born to Reagan and Wyman, Maureen Reagan and Christine Reagan, who was born prematurely on June 26, 1947, and died later the same day. Ron Reagan undertook a different philosophical and political path from his father at an early age. At 12, he told his parents that he would not be going to church anymore because he was an atheist. Reagan attended and was expelled from the Webb School of California. He commented, "They thought I was a bad influence on the other kids. As I recall, the immediate reason was I went to a dance at a neighboring girls' school in a classmate's car. This was an infraction. They had been looking for an excuse. I didn't get caught at anything." Reagan dropped out of Yale University in 1976 after one semester to become a ballet dancer. He joined the Joffrey Ballet in pursuit of his lifelong dream and participated in the Joffrey 2 Dancers, a troupe for beginning dancers, where he was mentored by Sally Braley. Time wrote in 1980, "It is widely known that Ron's parents have not managed to see a single ballet performance of the son, who is clearly very good, having been selected to the Joffrey Second Company, and is the son nonetheless." Ron talks of his parents with much affection, but these absences are strange and go back a ways. Reagan and Nancy went to see Ron perform at the Lisner Auditorium on Monday, May 18, 1981. The elder Reagan commented in his White House diary on this day that Ron's performance was reminiscent of Fred Astaire. Careers. Reagan became more politically active after his father left the White House in 1989. In contrast to his father, the younger Reagan's views were unabashedly liberal. In a 2009 Vanity Fair interview, Reagan said that he did not speak out politically during his father's term, because the press never cared about my opinions as such, only as they related to him, adding that he did not want to create the impression that he and his father were on bad terms because of political differences. In 1991, Reagan hosted The Ron Reagan Show, a syndicated late-night talk show addressing political issues of the day. However, it was cancelled after a brief run, unable to compete with the higher ratings of the Arsenio Hall show, The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, and Nightline. Reagan has worked in recent years as a magazine journalist, and has hosted talk shows on cable TV networks such as the Animal Planet network. In Britain, he is best known for having co-presented Record Breakers for the BBC. Reagan presented a report from the United States each week. He has served on the board of the Creative Coalition, an organization founded in 1989 by a group that included Susan Sarandon and Christopher Reeve, to politically mobilize entertainers and artists, generally for First Amendment rights, and causes such as arts advocacy and public education. From February to December 2005, Reagan co-hosted the talk show Connected Coast to Coast with Monica Crowley on MSNBC, until its demise in 2010. Air America Media aired The Ron Reagan Show. The program made its debut on September 8, 2008. In 2011, he published My Father at 100, a memoir. In interviews promoting the book, Reagan described noticing his father was having certain mental lapses which, in hindsight, caused the younger Reagan to later speculate that his father may have already been in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease while in office. This assertion was attacked by critics, including Michael Reagan. Ron Reagan subsequently clarified that he did not feel the lapses were dementia, political activities. In July 2004, Reagan spoke at the Democratic National Convention about his support for lifting Bush's restrictions on federally funded embryonic stem cell research, from which he expected a cure and new treatments for Alzheimer's disease, of which his father had recently died. There are those who would stand in the way of this remarkable future, who would deny the federal funding so crucial to basic research. A few of these folks, needless to say, are just grinding a political axe, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Ron Reagan said of the restrictions, "We can choose between the future and the past, between reason and ignorance, between true compassion and mere ideology." Reagan's mother Nancy also supported this position. In September 2004, he told the Sunday Herald newspaper that the Bush administration had cheated to get into the White House. "It's not something Americans ever want to think about their government. My sense of these people is that they don't have any respect for the public at large. They have a revolutionary mindset. I think they feel that anything they can do to prevail, cheat, whatever, is justified by the revolutionary aims, and that he feared Bush was hijacking his father's reputation." Reagan later wrote the essay, The Case Against George W. Bush by Ron Reagan, for Esquire. He was quoted as saying that he voted for Democratic Party candidate John Kerry in the 2004 presidential election. Reagan endorsed then Illinois Senator Barack Obama for president in the 2008 presidential election. In November 2015, Reagan endorsed Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders for the 2016 Democratic presidential nomination. Personal life. Ron Reagan lives in Seattle. He married Doria Palmieri, a clinical psychologist, in 1980. She died in 2014. Reagan stated, in a 2004 New York Times interview, that he did not claim any religion, but that his sympathies were with Buddhism. In a June 23, 2004 interview on Larry King Live, while discussing reasons why he would not run for political office, Ron Reagan stated, "I'm an atheist. I can't be elected to anything because polls all say that people won't elect an atheist." In February 2010, he was named to the Freedom from Religion Foundation's Honorary Board of Distinguished Achievers. In May 2014, Reagan appeared in an advertisement for broadcast on Comedy Central for the Freedom from Religion Foundation, in which he declared himself an unabashed atheist, and one who is not afraid of burning in hell.